What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jay Costa here. I have another Craftsman Versastack review video for you guys, and that is on the new 262-piece Craftsman Versastack Tool Set. This one is on sale right now at Lowe's for $149. I did make a original review video on my original 216-piece Versastack tool set. I'll put a link to that video in the description box down below, as well as up in the corner, so definitely check that out. But this video is going to be about the 262-piece. I'm going to give you an overview and also compare it to the 216-piece, because this one was $99, this one's $149. I also had a video reviewing the 230-piece tool set, and I returned it because I thought that it was a bit of a ripoff, way less value than this one. Even though it was more pieces per se, 216 to 230 they went, there was a lot of filler crap in it. There wasn't nearly as much as I was thinking that there would be. Did Craftsman fix the issues in this new 262 piece? We will find out. Let's get into it. So first things first, you see the biggest difference is the box. This is a bigger, bulkier box, also heavier duty it seems like. Okay, this one is smaller, kind of looks like a skeleton, does have some storage things on the top for screws and nuts and bolts while you're working, so that's cool. It is a smaller footprint, like I said, but it's smaller than it. The problem is when you put it on with your other Versastack stuff, it's smaller. So if it's not on the top, it can kind of throw the balance off of your whole Versastack kit. So definitely keep that in mind. This one's going to be way more stable with the rest of your Versastack stuff. And it just kind of looks more professional too, in my opinion. Second thing you see difference-wise is the drawers. The drawers on this one compared to the drawers on that one, this is obviously much better labeled. You have 3/8, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. This one goes in a different order. It goes small to large. 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch. But you can't really see those too well. Not well labeled. This one's very well labeled. I guess you could use a marker or something like that to fill those in. Probably a good idea. Now, someone in the comments section did say that they think that the 3/8 was put on the top because that's the most commonly used. Maybe, maybe not. I guess it depends on what your uses are. But for me personally, I'd rather it in an order. Small to large or large to small, going from bottom to top. Now, in regards to opening these drawers, they both are locked pretty well. They're not opening up themselves at all. You can leave them in your truck, and you're not going to come back to a drawer open with all your tools everywhere. But the locking mechanism is much, much different and is a big positive for the 262 piece. I'm going to show you why. In the 216 piece, it uses these tabs right here to open. So you unlock that, and you also have to do it on the other side as well, and it pulls out. This one, there's no tabs at all. It uses this locking mechanism here. It uses a knob. You do it 90 degrees, and you pull it out just as so. The next difference that you won't be able to see right now, but I'm going to show you, is that this one, it's locked in. I can't pull that out anymore. So you could leave it like that, kind of like a tool chest. Okay, this one, there's no locking mechanism on the back of the tray. So you need to be very careful. Obviously, there's a lot of weight in this thing. So this could just fall right out if you're not careful. But it does come out, and there's no locking mechanism keeping it from falling all the way out. Now, getting started with what is in the actual trays, I'll start with the smallest one. Let's start with the 1/4 inch. Here's your 1/4 inch on the 216 piece, and here's your 1/4 inch on the 262 piece. You can see the difference there. It looks about the same. There used to be these Allen keys right here, but I got rid of them because they're crap and I don't need them. I put a couple of pliers in there that I commonly use. So obviously you have your 1/4 inch ratchet, 1/4 inch ratchet. This one, you only have a small extension. The old one, the 216 piece, you have a small and a large. Another thing I see here is the 216 piece comes with a swivel. 262 does not come with a swivel. The drivers up here are slightly different. You can see the tip is different. So this, you have to kind of use all of these little bits, which are frankly a pain in the ass. They're hard to get out of those things, and they're just easy to lose and everything like that. I'm not a huge fan. I'd rather have this, which is a more standard 1/4 inch driver, and it has all of your tips on sockets. Now, I'm mentioning the drawer system differences. where this locks in, and that's cool. But the negative is there's some stuff back there that I can't get a hold of. It looks like there's a bunch of bits that I was just talking about in here, back there, that I cannot get access to without getting to these tabs here. Now, in regards to the actual socket sizes, let's see what they give you. So here you have shallow standard. It starts at 5/32, and it ends at, what's the biggest one? 9/16. So 5/32 to 9/16. This one, 5/32 right here to 9/16 right there. So we're off to a good start. You have the same amount of of shallow 1/4 inch sockets, and I'm assuming metric is the same. Now, when it comes to the deep sockets, it looks like there is a bit of a difference. So on the old one, you're starting at 3/16 to 9/16, and this one starts at 5/32. So it's actually smaller than 3/16, but it only goes to 1/2, not 9/16. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces there, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces there. So you have one extra socket on the 216 piece per sizing. Obviously, one extra on standard and one extra on the metric side as well. Now, moving on to the 3/8, you could see how I'm doing this one-handed. It is much easier to do it one-handed with the new box compared to the old box. So do this, and then really balance everything out. Now, I'm going to show you how one-handed, hopefully I don't drop this thing, how to get access to the back as well. You do that tab right there, and you do that tab right there, pull it down, you take it all out, and there is your tray. So I'm going to show you the difference between those. Okay, so right off the bat, it looks like you have, once again, more sockets. It looks like, anyway, sometimes looks can be deceiving. Looks like you have more sockets here, but you do have some Torx and Allen and hex on sockets that this one does not have. So that's going to be a lot. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 extra pieces right there. So a lot of your extra pieces in the 262 piece are going to be right there. Obviously the same Craftsman ratchet, 72 tooth, I believe it is. You have a long extension and a small, and this one you have a long and a small as well. Shallow sockets, which is kind of where I think most of the value is in these sets. This one, standard size, it starts at 1/4 inch. So 1/4 inch all the way up to 11/16. 1/4 inch to 11/16. This one is 1/4 inch to 15/16. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 extra standard size shallow sockets, and I'm assuming 4 extra metric size shallow sockets. So you have more, I was correct so far, you have more sockets on the 216 piece. Both of them have spark plug sockets. Also, like the 1/4 inch, 3/8 is coming with a swivel. This one has no swivel. Swivels are important. I don't know about you guys. I tend to use swivels more often than you think. Now let's get into the deep sockets. So the deep sockets for the standard starts at 1/4 inch and ends at 13/16. So 1/4 inch to 13/16. This one is 3/8 to 3/4. So once again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 more on each, so 6. So you have 4 extra here, 4 extra here, 3 extra here, 3 extra here, if I have that math right. But like I said, this has Allen keys and hex, which frankly I do miss in this. I do have to account for if I'm traveling with the whole set. If I need hex, or really more so the hex than the Torx, but that is something to consider. If you're using hex a lot, this may be a good option for you. Now let's get on to the 1/2 inch drawer. If I remember correctly, the 1/2 inch drawer on the 230 piece was probably the most disappointing. It had literally only 6 sockets. 6 sockets total. Now this is the 216 piece, and this is the 262 piece. I'm first gonna complain about one thing on the 216 piece. These open end wrenches, you have a bunch, but they are just, they're rattling around. They're making a ton of noise. Easily you can lose them very easily. Not a fan of this setup at all. Where this one, you're very, very organized with all of your open end wrenches. So, and then you also have these open end wrenches back here. But I mean, frankly, these are pretty small open end wrenches. I mean, if you do use open end wrenches a lot, this 262 piece may help you out a little bit more than the old 216 piece. Now, the one thing though that I see here right now is these have deep sockets, deep half-inch sockets, 6 of them. You don't get any deep half-inch sockets. I'm gonna take this one out. I added that myself. You don't get any deep sockets here. So, shallow sockets, you're basically starting at 13/16, and you're going up to 1 inch. 13/16 to 1 inch. This one, I mean, you're starting way smaller. You're starting, I can't even read, 3/8. You start at 3/8, and you're going all the way up to, I think, you're going to 1 inch over here. That's standard, and then this is metric down here. So you have, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 standard size shallow sockets, and here you only have 1, 2, 4. 4. So 8 total, obviously. Now, obviously, like I just said, you have deeps here, which you don't have any deeps there. So the deeps are 5/8, 9/16, 1/2, 15 millimeter, 17 millimeter, 18 millimeter. So I don't know. It's really up to you. Kind of depends on your usage. Me personally, I'd rather have no deeps and more shallow sockets because, frankly, these, there's only 6 of them here, and it's skipping a couple sizes anyway. So I don't know. I would rather have the shallow for my purposes, but everyone's got different needs for their tools. So it really kind of depends on what you're looking for. But other than that, guys, I mean, this is definitely an improvement over the 230 piece, but it's still not as good of a value as this one was. Now, you can kind of add in your own stuff a little bit. Like if you go back to the 3/8 drawer here, as we said, you have way more sockets. I guess you could add your own sockets. There is some space here, all over to add your own sockets, but I don't know. It's a good setup. It's certainly a big improvement over the 230 piece, but it's just not as good of a value, but still overall good value at $149. And remember as well, this one was $99 like a year or two ago, and the way inflation's going, and if Brandon stays in the White House any longer, it's going to be up to like $400 for each of these sets. So it's pretty good, still a pretty good value, not as good as that one, but both are great, especially if you're already into the Versastack system. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching. Leave a comment, in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about these sets. If you have any experience with either of them or have any questions, let me know. Drop a comment. I would love to help you in any way that I can. Until next time, guys.